Hello students, welcome to science class of chapter number 2 acid, base and salts. In the previous parts we have studied so many things about this chapter. In this part we are going to see some more information about this chapter. In the previous part mainly we have studied about acids and base, its characteristics, its physical properties, chemical properties, its chemical reactions, and so many experiments related to it. And also we have studied what is the common between acid and base in the previous part. And then we have studied about the wet litmus paper, that how the acid reacts when the litmus paper is, whether the litmus paper is dry or wet. And lastly we have studied the strength of acid and base solution. In this we have studied that we can come to know its strength using universal indicator or pH paper. And we have studied some values of certain characteristics whose pH value are acidic or basic. These are again I'm telling students, these are very important values and you have to remember the values of each and every thing. Today we are going to study about importance of pH in everyday life. So this is important question. This question may come in the exam and you have to write each and every topic of this, like, and also you have to write point wise like this, importance of pH in everyday life. So first importance is plants, it is a plant and animal sensitive. Then pH, importance of pH in the soil. Then pH in digestive system, pH in the cause of tooth decay, self defense by animals and plants through chemical warfare. Like this, these are the points you have to write, and under these points you have to write some other points also. Okay, so first point is importance about in animals and plant. Our body works within the pH of 7 to 7.8. This is one marks question in this topic. So many one marks question will be there. You have to underline this, with that our body works with the range of pH 7 to 7.8. Living organisms can survive in a narrow range of pH. When pH of rainwater is less than 5.6, it is called acid rain. So when in rain the pH is less than 5.6, so it is acidic, because as you know less than 7 means increasing in acidic characteristics. So less than 5, less than 7 means acidic. So this 5.6. And how this acid rain comes, that from the factories and industries, the dust particles that goes up in the atmosphere, and if increase in amount of nitrogen and sulfur in the atmosphere forms a cloud, and that will form an acidic cloud and will bring an acid rain. So thus like this acid rain is formed. Now pH in the soil in our backyard. So as we know, each and every specific plant or crop needs specific amount of soil, and that soil needs specific amount of pH for the growth of that plant. pH in digestive system, as we have already studied that in the when we were studying in the previous part about this thing, that acidic or basic characteristics, and we were talking about here milk of magnesia. At the time I have already discussed the importance of that milk of magnesia. It is the same thing in that pH in our digestive system, that if acidity means acidic characteristics increase in our stomach, as acid is produced in our stomach, because it is necessary for our digestive system, acid is necessary. But if more than the necessity, the amount of acid is produced, if it is produced in our stomach, so by consuming the milk of magnesia, which possess basic characteristics, is utilized by human being, then it will turn that acidic, neutralize that acid to base, and will neutralize our stomach. So the importance of pH in digestive system is that if that pH, acidic characteristic, mostly it is hydrochloric acid which is produced in our stomach. If its amount increases, then the base, mild base, which is here milk of magnesia, magnesium hydroxide or milk of magnesia, which is consumed and it is neutralized. pH change as the cause of tooth decay. Here also one thing you have to underline is that tooth decay starts when the pH of the mouth is lower than 5.5. That from inside our mouth the tooth start decaying. Decaying means degrading. When it will start, if the pH inside our teeth will decrease to 5.5. It does not dissolve in water but is corroded when the pH in the mouth is below 5.5. Means it if from lower 5.5 start to become lower than 5.5, it will start to degrade. And now that's why we are to prevent from this, we are consuming the toothpaste which is having the characteristics of salt. Mostly if you see in our in even we also see in the advertisement, in our toothpaste there is amount of salt. So that amount of salt will tells us that it contains salt, and that salt containing toothpaste is consumed by our mouth and it will neutralize it. Now, self defense by animals and plants through chemical warfare. So when so in this, if a honey bee bites us, so it saliva contains an amount of acid. So if that acid is gone inside our skin, it will create pain and irritation in our inside the skin, and also it will release its acidic characteristics inside our body. So to get relief from it, a mild base like baking soda is used. Okay, so again you have to underline this: baking soda on the stung area gives relief. Stung area means the bitten area, which where the honey bee or any bee has bite us, where there we can apply this baking soda and it gives relief. Now students, here this table is the most important table of this topic, and according to the exam point of view, here you have to remember the name of the source and the acid in which it found acid which is found in that source. You have to remember the acid names too, and that acid is related to which natural source. So vice versa can be asked in the exam. Like for example, if vinegar is there, so in vinegar which acid is found? So acetic acid. Vice versa it can also be asked like citric acid. So in citric acid is the acid which source is from which natural source we get citric acid. So the answer will be orange. You have to by heart this table. Okay, now we will study about salts. Up to now we have studied only about acids and base, its characteristics and its importance of pH and all. Now we are going to see the final thing about the chapter, that is salts. And in that family of salts, so many salts are there, and the important thing about pH of salt, and student please underline, it's a small paragraph but very much important on the exam point of view, that salt of strong acid and strong base are neutral with pH value of 7. Strong acid and strong base means all the salts are formed from acid and base. As we all know, acid plus base gives salt plus water. So salt which is formed from strong acid and strong base are neutral with pH value 7. Strong acid, strong base, pH value 7. Now strong acid and weak base less than 7. This is strong acid and weak base. strong acid and weak base gives less than 7, and those of and the other last thing is that strong base and weak acid are basic and nature will be more than 7. So all three you have to by heart, means pH, which salt have pH value 7, which salt have pH value less than 7, and which salt have pH value more than 7. Then we are going to see some chemicals from common salt. Here you have to underline this combination of hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide from the solution of sodium chloride, means hydrochloric acid means HCl and sodium hydroxide means NaOH. HCl plus NaOH gives NaCl. Seawater contains many salt dissolved in it. As we know that a salt is obtained from the seawater. From seawater we can obtain salt, and that deposited of solid salt are found on the several parts of the world. One more thing here to be underlined is this: large crystals are often brown due to impurities. This is called rock salt. This rock salt, this is the definition of rock salt which you have to by heart, is that large crystals are often brown due to impurities. Means the it is also a salt only, but it is in the form of large crystal, means big crystal, or you can say big stone type of salt, and which are in which it is not pure kind of salt. In that some kind of impurities are there, and that impure amount of salt is known as rock salt. Beds of rock salt were formed when the seas of bygone ages dried up. Salt is mined like coal. And also here you can see the picture. Yes, you can remember. You can remember one movement of Gandhi ji from this picture. That movement is Dandi March. Maybe you have studied in the social studies also. In what happened in Dandi March, students? In Dandi March, the Gandhiji broken the salt law, went with all its members the nearby the river, and taken the handful of salt and told that from now there will be no tax on the salt. Like this, Gandhiji broken the salt revenue or law. Now we will come to some common salt. There are many kind of salt. First we are going to study about sodium hydroxide, how this sodium hydroxide is formed. So you have to remember the process and also the chemical equation. Here the sodium hydroxide is formed when electricity is passed through an aqueous solution of sodium chloride called brine, decomposed to form sodium hydroxide, and this process is called chloralkali process. Students, this chloralkali process is mostly asked in the exam. You have to remember this chloralkali process with its chemical equation. Then we will study about bleaching powder, how the bleaching powder is formed. So when the this chlorine gas is used to manufacture this bleaching powder, and bleaching powder is produced by the action of chlorine on dry slaked lime. Bleaching powder is represented as CaOCl2 through the actual composition. Though the actual composition is quite complex, you have to remember the chemical equation. And also its uses, where the bleaching powder is used. It's used in the textile industry, it's used as an oxidizing agent, and it's also used as disinfecting in drinking. Now baking soda, where the baking soda is mostly used to make tasty and crispy pakoras. Mostly everyone's mother is using in the kitchen, and it also helps them in cooking. It makes the cooking faster, and also it helps to make the crispy. That crispy texture comes because of this baking soda. And how it's formed, you have to remember it's a chemical equation. And also also please remember the names, like here NH4Cl. So what is that NH4Cl? That is ammonium chloride. So try to remember and relate with it. Then uses of sodium hydrogen carbonate, or you can tell it sodium bicarbonate. What are the uses of it is for making baking powder, which is mixture of baking soda and a mild edible acid such as tartaric acid. When baking soda is heated or mixed in water, it forms the following reaction. The next is a washing soda. So washing soda, mostly here it's a, see the chemical equation of it, Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. That is the chemical formula for washing soda. Sodium carbonate can be obtained by heating baking soda. Recrystallization of sodium carbonate give washing soda, means sodium carbonate plus 10H2O. So addition of that 2 will gives Na2CO3 dot 10H2. Student, remember, on the reactant side it is plus 10H2, while on the product side it is dot 10H2, means it is the product, and at the left hand side that is the summation. And here its question is arise, what does 10H2O means? H2O means water, and 10 means 10 molecules of water. Does it makes Na2CO3 wet? Means as we are telling that so much amount of water, so does it makes wet? So we will address this question in the next section. Sodium carbonate and sodium hydrogen carbonate are useful chemicals in the many industrial process. So these are some of the uses. So washing soda is used to make glass, soap, paper industries. It is used in the manufacture of sodium compounds such as borax. Sodium carbonate can be used as a cleaning agent for domestic purpose. It is used for removing permanent hardness of water. At the now the that question we have talked, that we will see in the next section that we are going to see. It's a very important activity too. Heat a few crystal of copper sulfate in a dry boiling tube. Now you have to heat the copper sulfate in a dry boiling tube. What is the color of copper sulfate after heating? So before heating it was white in color. Student, note it down. Before heating the copper sulfate it was white in color, and after heating it becomes blue. So what is the after heating? So answer will be it turns white, sorry, before heating it was blue in color, and after heating it turns white in color. uh, so note it down, it turns white from blue. Before it was blue in color. Do you notice water droplets in the boiling tube? Here you can see in the figure it's written water droplets. So how this water droplets came? Add 2 to 3 drops of water on the sample of the copper sulfate obtained after heating. The heated that white color mixture, there you have to add the water. What do you observe? Is the blue color of copper sulfate restored? So you have to see that the blue color is again restored or not. So yes, the blue color will restore. So that again heating it again return us that old crystals of copper sulfate, and again on heating you can again find it as white color. So it is known as recrystallization. Again first it was crystal, on heating and adding water, recrystallization. So this is the explanation of this thing here. And plaster of Paris, which we are using at our home, which we call as POP, it is also the example of recrystallization. It's gypsum. When heated at 373 Kelvin, it loses its water molecule. So inside it whatever water is there, it has gone. The chemical formula for gypsum is CaSO4.2H2O. When it is heated at 373 Kelvin, all the water molecules inside the gypsum is lost, and it becomes CaSO4 dot half H2O. So from 2H2O to it becomes half H2O. So earlier it was gypsum, and by heating this thing is formed half H2O, that is known as POP, or you can tell it as plaster of Paris. So it is also the example of recrystallization. And this is the chemical equation, very much important, of a plaster of Paris and gypsum. Remember it by heart. I mark here. So this is the chemical equation. So students, here we have completed our chapter number 2, and all the exercises are mentioned in my PDF. Please go through it.